That's we the people.
You just said that you got it.
That I invited Governor Autumn when he said he was giving red card. You remember that few days back, last week? And I said, we don't have red card in the house. We have yellow cards. And so nobody can issue him what we don't have. And we put to him the allegations made against him and asked him to explain himself. And he was to come back. Because when a group makes allegation against another person, and you talk to them separately to speak to their allegation, and you find contradiction, the next thing is to invite the two to confront each other face to face. That was arranged at the instance of Governor Autumn for Wednesday. Because, remember, he said he was given red card. When we called the people there, they said, yes, we will not feed him, or if he must be feeded, he will have to work for it, but they are not going to throw it at him because they fear that he has nothing on the ground. Now, you call Autumn, and he says, oh, it's because of X, Y, Z. But at least he did not deny the fact that he has not had anything to show for 3.5 years of stewardship, except to say that he spent a lot of money on security. He never told us that it was about sharing Paris Club or no Paris Club. So, whether he would have stayed or not stayed, remember, I did not, even at that occasion, assure him of any ticket. But I said, if he says, be given a red card, I'm not aware. Because we don't have a red card. So, it wasn't about giving him any assurance. It's about trying to verify his own claim, the allegation against him, and his own response to those allegations. And because we have made them separately, we now wanted to have a direct meeting so that they can confront each other with the facts. But however, there are some of these facts that are in public domain. It's just that we need to re-amplify them. That he has not commissioned project is not a secret for me to discover. The only issue is his argument about the fact that he is spending money on security. He didn't say he was sharing the money to party leaders. But as media men, if a governor explains away his failure by saying that, or confessing that he shared government money to party leaders, is that the reason he will be re-elected? Now, you would think that if he has shared the money with the party leaders, then the party leaders in turn will try to keep him in office, or at least guarantee him the ticket since he's sharing the money with them. If, on the other hand, he claims that he refused to share the money, very good. Therefore, what have you done? Have you paid the workers' salaries with the money that you refused to share? Therefore, have you built more roads for the people of Benue State? Therefore, what have you accomplished with these bailout funds and the Paris Club refund? What have you done with it? So let me assure you that what I do promise, and try to mark my words each time I speak, say negotiable and verifiable grievances we will address. And I said, we would deny somebody a ticket on account of a conflict between him and any other person if he is at home with his people. Even yesterday I emphasized that when people say automatic ticket, does it guarantee automatic victory if people are against you? I said so. Because we didn't give you departure ticket. So how are we going to give you a return ticket? So I couldn't assure Governor Autumn that we will overrule the position of our party members and party leaders in Benue come 2019 that we will give him a ticket. No. I wanted to simply find out to cross-check with him the allegation made against him. And he was to come by yesterday. That is why he organized that drama. To say, and that tells you the quality of reasoning. I'm sorry, with all due respect to Governor Autumn. As a former governor, I have every respect for anyone who is occupied that office and anyone who had at any point in time occupied that office. How can you reduce governance to Nollywood? I wanted to go to Abuja to meet with the National Working Committee. My people have blocked the road. They say I will not go. When has it become the case that a governor wants to travel, it is on the radio that he's traveling, and this is the purpose of the meeting. And then all of a sudden, the people individually now rush to government house. I say, no, don't go, stay. We want you to leave. I mean, if that is the quality of the brain that drives the governance of Benue State, it's a relief for me that he's gone. I'm very sorry. It's a relief for me that he's gone. Because we must elevate the quality of political leadership. We must work cautiously to elevate the quality of political leadership. Government housing should not be occupied by comedians. It shouldn't be occupied by entertainers. When I want to go to a movie, I know I'm going to watch sound artists. If I'm going to a nightclub, I know I'm going to listen to musicians. When I'm going to government house, I expect to meet statesmen or stateswomen, not jokers. So, gentlemen, you have a step beyond reporting to understand that you must keep and interrogate politicians for the decision they take. For me, we are beginning to see the filter. And I ask you again, and this is the last point I'm going to make, that please read what I said. So you don't say I am changing my statement now. What I said the day I announced my intention to contest for the chairmanship of the All Progressive Congress. I said my hope, and part of the thing we will constantly work for, is to return party politics beyond being electoral, a political party platform, beyond being electoral platform. That we want to begin to focus on issues. Let the Nigerian people know where APC stand on XYZ policy vis-a-vis where other political parties stand. So we can have what you might call predominantly APC safe area and PDP, another political party safe area. Not based on religion, not based on ethnicity, not based on any primordial sentiment, but based on set of ideas and value system. And of course, you have to be convinced about something before you can try to implement them. We can now evaluate the capacity of players who run election on a party platform, their capacity to now implement programs that reflect the values of that party. What has happened over the years, for me, is not sustainable. And let's not dismiss ourselves that Nigeria has always been like this. No, it wasn't always like that. In the First Republic, people knew the difference between various political parties. Even up to MPN and UPN days, people knew that MPN was talking of Green Revolution and quality education, while UPN was saying free education to everyone. So, in various degrees, they were canvassing their position, so you could say this is what distinguished them. Nigeria must return to that. And I want to be able to be part of the forces that will begin to reconstruct the narrative of our partisan formation and party administration and party membership. So over the next few days, we are opening the windows and doors. Those who believe in us can come. Those who can't reconcile what they are used to with what we are trying to do in the APC, to be honest, there is no need to, the marriage is not what I was call Aurezobe. It's not a Catholic wedding. You know, because in Catholic wedding, once you have me say I do, nobody will preside over the solution. This one, as soon as we discover that we are not compatible, it's important for those who can't fit in to fit out. And Nigerian people should be rest assured that the key issue that is non-negotiable is our commitment to the Nigeria project and our commitment to the welfare of the Nigerian people, regardless of their location and regardless of their religion. Thank you very much.